Yeah. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Destiny was gone actually. I was explaining the process and I was on Google Classroom concept. Okay. So you guys have the code and on the Google Classroom, we'll be sharing with you the assignments which you have to submit there. And second, the third thing will be the test, objective test. So for the objective test, basically every month there will be two tests. Two online tests will be there every month. Online test will be there and 1 hour test basically, having all the subjects. So there will be live classes you have to attend. Then assignment from Google Classroom you have to submit, and then test. All three classes will be applicable. Okay. So I'll be teaching you guys physics. Myself, Deepak Solanki. Some of you might know us. See, last year thing. Pandu and Jeevan. Who is Pandu, Soham?
Sir, Pranav.
Pranav. His name is Pandu.
Nice, sir. We all call him lovingly Pandu.
Okay. So, is he joined here? Nahi? Has he joined?
नहीं है, sir.
Okay. So, should we wait? Will they be coming? So all these classes are getting recorded basically. They'll be shared with you onto the Google Classroom. And from next week onwards, actually, we'll be shifting onto our own platform. So we have made our own platform, live class ke liye. No more class basically. Live, we call it. So all our classes will be happening there only. And that platform basically is quite good. Basically, we can conduct the on-the-spot quizzes there itself, discussion, and everything is there on the platform itself. So we'll be shifting it there. After some time, we'll be shifting it there. Next week, basically, we are planning, and we have shifted one batch from the 11th to that platform. You guys will also be shifted there. So there, the automatic recording will be available for each and every class. Okay, I'll be starting actually. Slowly and gradually will pick up. May chal raha hai, and our objective is to finish the 10th syllabus in 3 to 4 months. Then after we'll be going in depth study of that. Okay. So in physics, you guys will be having 4 topics actually, if you've gone through them. So what are the 4 topics in physics in class 10th? Have you gone through them? Soham, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What are the 4 topics? Bhargavi?
Sir,
4 topics. कौन से 4 topics हैं? What are the 4 topics
we
in
have
physics?
electricity,
Yes.
Light.
light, yeah.
Right. Kunal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 4 topics.
Yes, sir.
कौन से?
Sir, electricity. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Electricity is one
Electricity.
topic. Yeah.
Magnetic effect of electricity.
Yeah, good.
Source of energy.
And source of energy.
Yes, sir.
So these 4 topics are there, and out of these 4 topics, actually, these 2 are quite important. Current, electricity, and the light. These are quite important. Magnetic effect, the magnetic effect, this topic is the 12th standard topic. So there we study in detail. At our level, we'll be having a brief idea about that magnetic. We'll have the brief idea. But I'll be going, for electricity, I'll be going in deep, and for light as well, I'll be going in deep. Because these 2 subjects, we can go deep in case of class 10th itself. We can go deep. Basically, these 2 subjects, we can even solve question which will be coming for IT. These are basically these topics. Okay. Sources of energy basically is a theoretical topic. Hardly one class will be required for that. It will be like more of a mugging up topic. Okay. So anybody is having any doubt like the process we are going to follow? This anybody? Bhargavi, Meera is not there.
No, sir, she's not there.
Hey, why?
I don't know. Like I asked her, she told she's not interested.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So we'll be starting, actually, we have a choice actually. We can start from laxity or we can start from light. We have these two choices actually for the topic to pick up. So I'll be starting with laxity, current laxity I'll be starting. Okay. So today class we'll have a brief discussion about the current laxity and the basics of it first. And we'll take around 1 month for this topic. 1 month will take. Easy conversation. So next page. We'll be starting current laxity. And we'll be starting with charge. What is charge? How it looks?
It's fundamental property of electricity.
Yes. Bhargavi, you said something?
Sir, it's a fundamental property of electricity.
Yeah. In this statement, you just remove the laxity.
Okay.
Fundamental property. The main thing is property. It's a property. How it looks? Suham,
Yes, sir.
how it looks?
Sir, it does not have any shape. You
Does
cannot
not
see
have?
any
You cannot
shape.
see.
You cannot see it.
Why? Why we cannot see it? Kunal? My classes will be discussion based. We are not here to mug up things, we are here to learn things. So we'll be going by discussion. So Soham said we cannot see it, it does not have any shape. He is right actually. So Kunal, tell me, why we cannot see it?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, because it flows in the fire kind of thing.
It flows in?
It flows
Wire
in a
kind of
particular
thing.
medium.
It flows in a particular medium.
Yeah.
Okay. So air flows in a particular medium, but at a microscope level, you can see the atoms consist in air. Water flows inside the pipe, you can see the water. There is something special, we cannot see it. Sangamitra, Tuvijit, you can also join in the discussion. Why we cannot see the charge? Okay, so as Bhargavi said, it's a fundamental property. Can you see any property? It's a question again. Can you see a property? Can you see somebody's character? Soham is a funny guy. Can you see by looking at his face? He's funny. How the funny looks? The properties are something we cannot see, but we can see their effect. Properties are something we cannot see them, but the effects can be seen. Same is with the charge. Since charge is a property of matter, we cannot see it, but we can feel the effect of charge. And that is the reason we define that property actually. Think about the very first human on earth. Think about the very first human on earth. And the very first time that first human had cracked the joke. The very first time when that human cracked the joke, the second person, how he would have felt about that joke. Because that joke as a phenomenon was not there before. The very first time when he encountered that, he didn't know how to react. But the thing is, something happened. Something happened, and this second guy is started observing it and started experimenting over it. Then he realized that then there is a property, that property is known as funny thing, and he started defining that thing. And then the jokes have defined. Now we know if you want to make a joke, what's the process? Soham knows that. If the people are laughing, that's a joke. Joke is just a statement which will make other people laugh. So we crack a joke, and if the other people are not laughing, that's not a joke. That's how we know. If we don't see the desired effect, we don't give it a name as a joke. We call it bad joke. The same is with the charge. It's a property we cannot see. Property can never be seen. But its effect can be observed. Its effect can be observed. For this charge, the effect of the charge can be observed. Since effects can be observed, so whenever we see that kind of effect, we say this property has to be there. So if any object or human or anything actually give that kind of effect, which is similar to the effect charge gives, we say that this thing carries charge. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Got the point? We see the effect. The moment we get to know about that there is some effect which are similar to the effect we see in case of charges. We say that, okay, this carries the. So if the Soham in the end, like you can say Soham, if Soham resembles the effect, if Soham started giving the effect which we see in case of charges, we'll say Soham is carrying the charges. Effect of the charge does not mean the electricity will be generated. Effects are different. Electricity is one of the effects actually of the charge. Till now it is clear? Clear here?
Yes, sir.
You guys can write the definition. You guys can write the definition corresponding to charge. It's a property of matter. It's a property of matter which cannot be seen, but the effect can be observed. What are the effects of charge? Effect of charge are force. The charge creates the force. Because of charge, force is being created. A specific kind of force. So whenever we see that force, which we see generally in case of charge, we say that charge is there. So let's talk about the definition. Likha charge ka? Write the definition. I'll assume that everybody is having their notebooks and the pen. I'm assuming that everybody will be making the notes. Everybody will be making the notes. And when the proper class will be starting, I'll be checking the notes of each and every one. Especially Soham.
Okay, sir. I'm okay, sir. I'll write.
Okay, good. If you are writing, then everybody else will be writing. Okay, so charge. It's a property of matter which we cannot see, but the effect can be observed. Now let's write the effects of charge. Effect. Effect is force. The charge generates two types of forces. The force given by the charge. The force given by the charge is one of the fundamental force. You know how many fundamental forces are there? Anybody? We always go for discussion and we don't care whether we are right or wrong.
Force.
If we are right, yes, Bhargavi. Fundamental types of forces. How many types are there?
4.
4. Good. Now, Kunal, tell me the two.
Sir, friction force, gravitational force.
No. One is right, one is wrong. So gravitation is one of the force, which is fundamental, but friction is not the fundamental force. So before defining the fundamental force, do we need to discuss what makes a force as a fundamental force? What is fundamental force? Soham. So Vijit.
No idea, sir. I don't know.
Say anything. Either you are right or you will learn something.
No idea, sir.
Sir, maybe it is a part of a force.
No, it's not a part. Fundamental. You know the meaning of fundamental. Generally use that fundamental word when we want to say it is something complete. See, the fundamental means the force which is not derived from something. So there are two types of force. One is a fundamental force, one is a derived force. Derived means, I'll give you an example, actually you'll be able to understand it better way. My writing is not visible properly. Kunal, again, my side, now the network is good.
Yes, sir. It's not visible.
Others go, Soham, is it visible? My writing is bad actually.
Hollywood उसके पास चला
That
जाएगा
Sir,
वहाँ
partially, sir.
Hollywood उसके पास आ जाएगा
partially it is visible.
Yes, sir.
You see, it's not visible in different statement, and my writing is bad in a different statement. My writing is bad, that I know.
Sir, no, sir. It's not visible.
It's not visible. Okay. Let's go for the next page then. Let's see if it is visible now. So we're talking about, for a time being, we are talking about fundamental forces. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm actually repeating that in words as well. Actually, if it's not visible to some, they can understand because whatever I'm writing, I keep talking about. So fundamental force. There are total 4 types of forces, as Bhargavi said. 4 types of forces. There are 4 types of forces. Sorry. Seriously, my writing is really bad. So you guys will miss Divakar sir actually now. So there are total 4 types of force. So our question was, what makes a force as a fundamental force? Because we have heard so many types of forces, as Kunal was saying, friction force. It's force actually. We have heard about it, isn't it? But I said friction force is not a fundamental force. So it's some property which makes the fundamental force as fundamental. So I told you that fundamental force is a force which should not be derived from something. It should not be derived from something. And I want to give an example. So let's say this is your father. And this is you. Let's make it realistic. And here is the teacher. And I'm here. Easy. So Soham is not performing good. I'll tell the father he is not performing good. So Soham, what will happen?
I'm gonna get scolded.
Yes. The thing is, why you are getting scolded? Because of me. Thing is, you are getting the effect of force, but that force is not coming from your father actually. It is coming from the backside. I am the origin of that force. So that's how the force gets transferred from one location to the location. So when you are getting scolded, you'll be having, let's say, your younger sister. So that anger you will dissipate here, some of the anger. You see, so majority of time in society, what happened? We take and we give. And generally when we are giving, it is coming from what we take. So these information forces flow one location to the location, but there is an origin of these forces. There is an origin of these forces from where they originate. And origin of each and every force is the property. Force don't come from a point, they originate from the property. Joke does not come from the humans. Joke comes from the property called funny. Because if it is coming from the human, then everybody can joke. But it's not true. People give the statement, but there are some people, when they give the statement, it becomes funny. So every force comes from a property. Sometimes the properties are primary properties, and sometimes the properties are collection of primary properties. It's like you mix the green and the blue, some new color, the red or something like that. I don't remember actually, but you mix the color, what happened. But when you're mixing two colors, it will give you the third color. This third color don't have its own identity. It is deriving from the two colors. So it's like that. We can have infinite forces. We can have infinite number of forces, but in total there are 4 fundamental forces. All other forces are the combination of these 4 fundamental forces. And these 4 fundamental forces are coming from distinct properties, completely distinct properties. The first force here we define as the gravitation. My writing is CSC actually, and today it is worse. I don't know why. The first force is gravitational force. I hope you guys are writing now. So there are 4 types of fundamental forces. In point wise, you can write 4 types of fundamental forces. There are 4 types of fundamental forces. First point. Second point will be about what makes a force as a fundamental force. When the origin of force is completely distinct, the force becomes fundamental. If it is completely distinct, it becomes fundamental. So a force which is not derived from any other force. If a force is not derived from any other force, it will be fundamental. We'll write 4 types of forces. Fundamental one was the gravitation, and Kunal said second one as a friction, which was not. So you guys tell me, what will be the second force?
Electromagnetic.
Weak
Oh,
force,
very good.
strong force.
Okay, you guys are having
Electromagnetic, nuclear and weak.
Electromagnetic.
electromagnetic,
Nuclear and weak.
nuclear,
And weak.
weak forces. So you see, the thing is, we use the technology. You guys use the technology. Immediately you went for Google. It's not bad. It will be very much better if you are using the technology before coming to classes. So the thing is, when you are using the technology, don't go for PUBG. When you are having a phone, don't play the PUBG. You can have the Google Baba, and from there you can have a lot of information, which is really
So
interesting.
what's the last fundamental force?
Weak. We call it weak force.
Weak.
Yeah, weak force. It's just a name actually. It is sort of an intranuclear force actually. This third one is a nuclear force. Second one is electromagnetic force. First one is gravitational force. Actually, in the beginning, there were 5 forces. Electric force, electrostatic force was separate, and the magnetic force was separate in the beginning. But around, I think, in the 60s, actually, they get to know that electric force and the magnetic force, they are coming from the same source. They get to know about that. But in the beginning, they were thinking origin of electric force is separate, and the origin of magnetic force is separate. That's how they believed. But when they did more experiment, more research they get to know both the forces are coming from the same source. So they make it electromagnetic. And all 4 forces have their distinct origin. You study about the gravitation force in the 9th standard. Again in 11th standard, this topic will come more in detail. Here we want to study the electromagnetic. The property which is behind the electromagnetic force is known as charge. And that's why we are discussing about it. Because charge is a property which generates electromagnetic force. So whenever you will see electromagnetic force, what we will do? What we will deduct? Huh? Kunal? Bhargavi?
Sir, positive and negative charges.
No. My question is, whenever we will see electromagnetic force, what we will deduct? We will deduct that there is a charge.
Okay.
Because electromagnetic force comes from
Charge.
charge. So if there is a charge, electromagnetic force has to be there. And if there is electromagnetic force, we'll say charge is there. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. So this is the reason we are studying about the charge, because ultimately later on we want to study about the electric field as well as the magnetic field. You see, this topic is behind two topics in the current standard, even magnetic effect as well as electricity. Charge, because the property is charged. Now the thing is, later on the later stage of facts, we have seen that there were two types of magnetic force. There were two types of behavior the force was showing. So for the charge, we define two types of charges. Two types. The charge, we define two types of charges. कौन से? Actually, in nature, whatever is there, it's always, there are two types actually. Singularity does not exist actually. If you see the deep physics and the nature started, in the beginning there was a singularity. You'll say that. Have you seen Interstellar movie?
That's a space movie.
Interstellar.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
You must have seen the. No. Okay.
No.
I'll be going for next page. I'll be discussing about little bit about the movie. Okay. That movie is a physics movie actually. That movie is a complete physics actually. How things started. I'll give you a brief idea about that. In the beginning, there was a single particle, and I'll not call it a particle. There was single. Something was there, but only single thing was there. We call it singularity. Singularity. Single particle. All the things were same. So all four forces we see in nature, it was single force. There was nothing except that singularity. And the laws at that time were different. Then came the Big Bang. And I'm not talking about the serial, I'm talking about the actual phenomena, Big Bang. Okay, I'll write a little bit bigger. So, Big Bang. What was Big Bang?
Sir, an explosion which resulted into the creation of planets.
Yeah, not just the planet. ये आपका homework
The
type
whole
है.
universe.
Read little bit about the Big Bang after the class. It's very interesting phenomenon. Yeah. So it's not the planet actually. I'll not call it a planet.
Whole universe.
Anything else? Anything else? Big Bang. What was Big Bang? Bhargavi? Say anything. So Big Bang was like a blast. It was not the actual blast. People mistake it by the phenomenon as a blast because of this word, bang. It was not the blast per se. What happened? Singularity gets converted into the duality or multipolarity. There was only one, and one became many. Many in terms of matter, many in terms of forces, many in terms of particle, many in terms of phenomena. Before this Big Bang, there was only single thing. Nothing was there. Neither we were there nor the forces were there. There was no force at all. Nothing was there. We call it Shunya bolte hain. There is a philosophy, Indian philosophy mein hai. This concept is properly defined in Indian philosophy. We call it Paramatma. You must have heard that. This concept. And from there comes the Atma. We call it, from Paramatma comes the Atma. And it again goes back there. Same concept. Singularity gave way for duality. One became many. And when they became many, yes?
Sir, your handwriting is not visible.
My handwriting is not visible. Is it not visible or is it bad?
It's now visible.
Not visible. We are having a lot of problem on Zoom actually. Can you make something out of this writing? Very soon we'll be shifting on to our own platform, so there this problem will not be there actually. But right now, can you make out something out of it? I'll keep repeating the words actually. I'll keep repeating the words.
It's really blurred.
It's really blurred.
Yes.
Net connectivity is good at your side, or like
Yeah,
how's the net connectivity?
it's full.
It's full. And is it with everybody? Then
No,
I'll
sir.
like,
It's clear for me.
it's clear for you.
Yes,
Later you
sir.
have to see the connectivity might be bad at your side actually, because then if it's clear for one, it should be clear for everybody. Because on my side,
Okay,
the
sir.
network is quite good actually. I'll keep repeating the words. I'll
Okay.
keep repeating the words. Okay? I'll keep repeating
Okay,
the
sir.
words. So the thing is, in the beginning, let's understand it from a different perspective. In the beginning, there was single particle. There was only single particle. Then, because of the blast, the single particle gets converted to the multiple particles. These particles were coming from the single one. So, what happened? These particles, though now they are different, but they are still connected indirectly by the forces. It's still connected indirectly by the forces. They can move, but they can move under the influence. Think about you guys. You are free, isn't it? You guys can move. Soham,
Yes, sir.
you can move now.
Yes, sir.
You are completely free. Basically, you are a guy. You have a complete liberty, and you can move. Can you move for 2 days and don't come back to the home? Is it possible?
No.
So you are free, but under certain conditions. Same is with every particle. So every other particle is free, but they are bound by some forces. So when you guys are sitting in the class, there are some sort of a forces acting. Like Soham called his friend Pandu, but he will not be calling him Pandu in front of the teacher because there are some forces, isn't it? Am I right or wrong, Soham?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's the example I'm giving you. So basically, you
Oh,
guys
that's
are
why
free.
it's not there. Oh.
So basically, you guys are free. Basically, but you guys are connected by some forces. And these are the forces we want to discuss. In the beginning, when there was only single particle, these forces were not there. Because the multiple particles were also not there. These forces are there to connect the particles. But when there was single particle, these forces were not there at all. Forces got created because of that Big Bang phenomenon. And in total, there were 4 fundamental forces. So 4 fundamental forces corresponding to that, and multiple combinations of those 4 fundamental forces. So when we talk about friction, it's not a fundamental force. It is coming from combination of those forces. It's like that. So this was Big Bang actually. I'll give you a reading. You have to read about the Big Bang. It's a nice reading actually. You guys can do it. Okay. So I'll come back to the charge. There are 2 types of charges. कौन से? Bhargavi? If you guys will remain engaged, you will not sleep.
Yes, sir.
2 types of charges. कौन से?
Sir?
I said there are 2 types of charges, na? Which one?
I told positive and negative.
So, positive charge,
Negative
and
charge.
negative charge. Duality is a rule after Big Bang. If you find some particle, you will always find another particle which is completely opposite to this. Completely opposite.
Sir,
to this. Yes.
if there is a positive charge and a negative charge, isn't there a neutral charge also?
No.
Oh.
So they neutralize each other, but it does not make a new charge. The positive charge will be here, negative charge will be here. Will not be able to see the effect of both the charges. Individually will we see the effect of positive charge and the negative charge, but the net effect will be 0. So we'll not see the net, but individual is there. So when you combine the positive charge and negative charge, it does not get neutralized. They remain there. The effect we are not able to see. That's the only thing. The effect will not be able to see. It is like when you mix red with green, you will find the new color. Is it a new color? You see the new color, but the green is there inside. Red is also there inside. They are getting negated, but green is there. If you have a method to extract the green, and if you extract the green, the result will be net, remaining will be the red. Clear hai? So there is a positive charge and there is a negative charge. We define there are two types of charges based upon their different characteristic. Based upon their different characteristic, we define the two types of charges. One is positive and one is negative. You guys write a note. Small note, we'll write. Regarding field. Force is the effect. But so if this is there, force is the effect, but there is something which is carrying this effect. And that something which is carrying this effect is known as field. Field is like lines basically. Field is like something which is carrying this effect. Like again, example I'll give you. You see the wire which carries the current. The wire is a medium in which this current will flow. So there is a medium required for everything. There is a medium required for everything. So when the force is going from one location to the location, it requires a medium. We call it as a field. So the positive charge particle, they generate field which is outward in nature. We are differentiating among the positive and the negative charge. So positive charge particle generates the field which are outward in nature, and the negative charge particle generates the field which are inward in nature. Outward in nature and inward in nature. Get the point?
Sir, what is outward field?
Outward, which is going outside.
So could you
It's
repeat
like-
what? So could you repeat what a field is? I didn't get it.
Field.
Yeah.
Field actually by definition, field is force per unit charge by definition. Field is
Okay.
defined as force per unit charge.
Okay.
Force per unit charge.
Okay.
But the thing is, I want to define, I want to explain you what does that actual mean to understand, not the definition wise.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Have you seen the God's photos, Bhagwan ji photo dekha?
Yeah.
Must have seen that. Okay.
Yes.
So generally, if you see any God's photo, like when you see their faces, when the people make their photos, pictures, they give these kind of things. Glow. They give the glow now.
Yeah.
That glow represent the field.
Okay.
So I didn't understand.
The glow basically when they show somebody, when people show the gods through their pictures, they generally show the glow around their body. That is field. That is the field. If there is an evil person will give the vibe. We call it vibe, no? We are getting a very bad vibes. We are getting good vibes. The feeling, they are the field. Again, I'll give you one more example. Sometime you guys, let's see you went to a new class. You are entering into a new class. New class means you don't know anybody in this class. And then in this class, let's say there are 4 students or 5 students. Let's say 5 students are there who are sitting inside the class. You are entering in the class. These 5 people, you don't know about them at all. The moment you will enter the class, you will judge them. Isn't it? That's what you will do.
Yes, sir.
You will see their faces. And then you will get a feeling. kind feeling, a small feeling you get, out of all these 5, this guy will be good for you. And when I say guy, I mean the girls as well. You get that feeling, this guy will be, he can be my friend. So when you enter the class, the thing is, as a human, you also emit feelings. You also emit energy. You keep emitting the energy outside. And you keep getting the energy inside. So you keep receiving the energy inside, you keep emitting the energy outside through your senses, basically. And your body, your unconscious mind, keep analyzing this energy. This field is some energy which is originating from the charged particle, and it is carrying the information regarding the charged particle. We cannot see it, but there is our body, unconscious mind has a thing to do the calculation. It is something which is carrying the information. It is something which is taking the information in. It's like energy is going outside. Invisible, but it carries something. So when we enter the class, everybody is emitting their field. We also emit our field, and we receive their field. When we receive their field, we do some calculation, and through that calculation, we get to know this guy will be good for me. And we start engaging with that. The field is like that. In detail, we'll go for this field, in the mathematics forms and all, we'll go in the 12th standard. Till that time, we have to just remember that positive charge emits the field in outward direction, and the negative charge, they absorb the field in inside direction. The field goes inside, field goes outside. That's the difference between positive and negative charge. That's how we differentiate. Okay. One second, I'll give you 2 minutes to come back. Yes. So this is how we differentiate between the positive charge and negative charge. That's the only difference between them. Positive charge emits the field outward direction, electric field outward direction. We call it electric field. Just remember the name. Electric field. Positive charge particles, they emit the electric field in outward direction, and the negative charge particle, they absorb the field in inside direction.
So are there different types of fields?
No. Yeah, corresponding to every force, there is a different field. So corresponding to electromagnetic, there will be different type of field. Corresponding to gravitational force, there will be a different field called gravitational field. Corresponding to nuclear force, there will be a different field, nuclear field. So corresponding to each and every fundamental force, we define the field. So since we are talking about electromagnetic force, so and electromagnetic force in the beginning were 2 forces, isn't it? One was electric force and another was magnetic force. So corresponding to electric force, we define electric field, and corresponding to magnetic force, we will define the magnetic field.
So
The field corresponds to force. Yes? Bhargavi, any question?
No, sir.
So field corresponds to fundamental force. So every fundamental force has its own field. All these points you can keep writing. Side mein note karte hu. Whatever you don't know, you keep writing, keep noting it down. All fundamental force have their own fields. So positive charge particle, field goes outward. Negative charge particle, field goes inside. You can show it through the arrow. I'm showing it through the arrow. So that's how we differentiate among positive charge and the negative charge. Otherwise, we cannot differentiate. That's the only difference. That's how we differentiate. Clear hai?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, then let's talk about some elementary particle which carries the charge. The elementary particles, you know the elementary particles? Anybody? What is elementary particle?
Electron.
Atoms.
Electron.
So one side electron, one side atoms.
Atom.
Remaining people? Soham.
Sir, a
So
particle
yeah.
of the element.
Very good. Doesn't matter, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. At least you said.
Oh,
No, sir, I was just thinking
Yeah, no
whether it
problem.
is right
beta.
or wrong.
You are better than the people who are not responding. I'll always say.
Thank you, sir.
There are only two things we do. Either we are right or we learn. Either we are right or we learn. Third category is we are sleeping. Till we don't respond, we'll not get engaged. And engagement is required to learn. So elementary particle actually, you see, it's the smallest particle you can say. Or you can say it's a particle which cannot be further divided. It's like you are having a big brick. And then you break it. It becomes 2 bricks. Then you further break it. It becomes 4 bricks. And you keep breaking the bricks and keep making it smaller. Till you can break it, it's not an elementary particle. The moment that thing cannot be further broken down, that becomes the elementary particle. Get the point? The elementary particle is the smallest particle. Basically, it cannot be further broken down into the constituents. It's smallest
Sir,
constituent.
So basically, it's like an atom.
No. If you are saying it's an atom, then are you saying that atom cannot be further divided? What makes an atom? Atom is made by,
Neutrons, protons, and electrons.
if something is made by something, that something cannot be the elementary particle. If atom is made by electron, neutron and all, it is not an elementary particle. You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. But this definition keeps changing actually. Till 9th standard, people used to tell you that the atom is the smallest unit. That statement you must have heard, no? Atom is the smallest unit of matter. It's not true. It is further divided. Then it's further divided, and we keep dividing it. Yet. So elementary particle, there are in total actually 24 elementary particles as far as I know, 24 or 25 elementary particles, and everything else is made up by those particles. It's like we have 24 building blocks, and anything we want to make, whether it is an atom or a superatom or a brick or the universe, it will be made by only those 24 elementary particles. Get the point? Huh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Note down then. It's the smallest unit of matter. I don't say it's atom. So elementary particle is a particle which cannot further be divided. Which cannot further be divided. Further divided into other constituents. And generally, these elementary particles are the particle which carries the property. People don't carry the property. The particle which makes the people, they carry the property. So if you are having more particles which are corresponding to the funny nature, you will be funny. If you are carrying more particles corresponding to the sad nature, you will be sad. So the thing is, not everybody can be completely funny. Everybody has all the properties. In some cases, they have more funny and less sad. In some cases, they are more sad than the less. It is depending upon how many particles they are carrying corresponding to sadness and corresponding to the funny nature. It's like that. So when we give the property, we generally try to give the property to the elementary particles. So these negative charge and the positive charge, we will define these charges corresponding to elementary particle. Electron. Electron carries negative charge. And then proton carries positive charge. Why we are doing it? The thing is, later on we will need to calculate the amount of charge. We will need to calculate the amount of charge, which is very difficult if we don't attach this property to some particles. I'll ask you a question. So, how much funny he is. So
Yes, sir.
quantify your funniness. Can you do that? Are you 2 kg funny or 5 meter funny? If I want to calculate how much funny you are, is there a method?
No, sir.
Yeah. Same thing, if I want to calculate a charge on something, there is no method because the charge is a property. So to solve this problem, what we do, we attach charge as a property with particle. And the particle which are elementary, which cannot be further divided. And then what we do, we calculate the number of particles. So electron carries negative charge and proton carries positive charge. The amount of charge we define by Q. Q is a word we associate for charge. Small q or capital Q, both the words we take. So whenever we define Q or capital Q, it is corresponding to charge. So charge corresponding to electron, E stands for electron, is equals to minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. We define it by C. Coulomb, it's a unit of charge. Coulomb is a unit of charge. We define it by capital C. So charge carries by electron is minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. And charge carried by proton is plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. It's a. So electron carries negative charge and proton carries positive charge. Amount is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So in future, if I ask you how much charge a particle is carrying, a matter is carrying, there is a matter, and if I ask you what is the total charge, generally capital Q is the word we use to define the total charge. So if I ask you how much charge this matter is carrying, what you will do? Huh?
0.
No, we cannot. Well, I am asking what will be the process of calculating the charge onto this? What should be the process?
QE plus QP.
Huh?
QE plus QP.
I'll say count electron and proton.
Sir, can
Just
you-
start counting.
Sir,
Yeah, I'll explain. Note down till this point. The charge carries by the electron, charge carries by the proton. Unit of charge is Coulomb. We define it by capital C. Statement like that. You write the statement for it. The unit of charge is Coulomb. MKS unit. MKS unit basically. MKS unit is Coulomb. We define it by capital C. Like weight के लिए kg use करते हैं, mass के लिए kg. For length meter. For time we use second. For charge we use capital C. Coulomb. Call it Coulomb. Got it down? Shall I go for the next page?
Sir, what is count electron proton?
Yeah, I'll explain. Next page. I'll explain. More down to this point.
Sir, done, sir.
Okay, I'll go for the next page. Okay. So it is like again, there's a guy, and my question is, what is the total charge this guy is carrying? Now we know that electron carries minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb, and the proton we define by P as well. Proton को carries plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. We know that. So now we have a method to calculate the total charge carried by the Soham. We cannot calculate how much funny Soham is, but we can calculate how much charge he is having, total charge. For that, all we need to do is count electrons and protons. We will count how many electrons Soham is carrying and how many protons he is carrying. So let's say after counting, N1 is the number of electrons Soham is carrying and the N2 is the number of protons Soham is carrying. We'll count it. Counting is a process, no? Okay, it will take a lot of time. How we will do that, it's a different question. But we know if there is something we can do. Whether it is difficult or easy, we know we can do this. So I'll calculate N1 will be the number of electron, let's say, and N2 is the number of proton. Once we calculate the number of electron and proton onto Soham, then the total charge will be defined as minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into N1 plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into N2. This becomes a formula.
For total charge.
What?
For total charge.
For total charge.
Okay.
So number of electron multiplied with minus 1.6 to the power minus 19 plus number of proton multiplied with plus 1.6 to the power minus 19. That way you will be able to get the total charge onto the system or so. So this is the total charge. This is the formula for total charge onto a particle. So in future, it's a better way. If you want to calculate the charge, a better way is to go by the number of electrons. Because if we have the number of electrons, we can easily calculate the total charge and number of protons. So Soham, one question. Can you make a matter which does not have the electron?
No, sir.
It's impossible, no? Why?
Yes.
Because
Sir,
generally we say everything is made up by atom, and atom ke andar kya hai? What is inside the atom?
Electrons, protons, and neutrons.
And protons, basically. So these charges, these particles are everywhere. These particles are everywhere. All of these particles, they generate force. All of these particles, they generate force. But when we see the effect, it is always the net effect we see. It's always the net effect. The net charge, we will define it like this. So if, like in future, Soham, the net electric force applied by Soham is 0. If net electric force applied by Soham is 0, can we say that Soham does not carry any charge?
No.
Then what we should say?
The number of electrons and protons are equal.
Very good, very good, very good. So if we don't see Soham is not giving any electric field, net electric field, it does not mean he does not carry the electron. He carries the electron. So individually he is emitting the forces, but net effect is 0. It is like there is a guy, he is pulled in two directions. And if the force applied in both the directions is same, the net force is 0. So when the net force is 0, we cannot say the force is not acting. Force is acting. Net is 0. Force is acting. Individual forces are there, but net effect is not there. Get my point? So this particularly experiencing the force in both the directions. So it is experiencing the force because at this point we can experience the force because of electron as well as because of proton. Net becomes 0. When net becomes 0, it does not make individual forces 0. Clear to this point? Note down this point. Note down. I'll be giving you one question.
Sir, in the formula which you have given, what is N1 and N2?
N1 is number of electrons, you see here, and N2 is number of proton. You define that as well. N1 is number of electron carries by the system, and N2 is number of proton carries by the system.
So in future, when somebody asks us a question of calculating the charge, they'll give us the number of electrons and protons.
Yes. Without that, if they don't give that number, they'll say, sorry sir, we cannot say. But that's the thing we need. That's the thing we need. If somebody will ask the total, either they will give the total charge Or if they want to ask the total charge, they will give the numbers. Clear hai?
Yes, sir.
Any problem?
No.
Any problem?
No, sir.
Write a
No,
note.
sir.
Write a note.
No.
What does it mean by a neutral system?
What, sir?
Neutral system. It means number of electron is equals to number of proton. So when we have atom, inside the atom, number of electron and number of proton is always same. We can make, so when there is a neutral atom, number of electron and number of proton is same. Okay? If it is not neutral, in that case there will be some mismatch. Write this point, because this point will be utilized in the question which I will be asking. Next page. There is a neutral atom. From this neutral atom, we extracted 4 electrons. What is the net charge after extracting these 4 electrons? So we had an atom which was neutral, we extracted 4 electrons out of it, calculate total charge onto that atom.
Sir, but there is no number of protons.
Yes, I have not given you directly. If I ask you the straight question, I'll be like your school teacher, which I'm not. I'll never ask you the straight question. So we had a neutral atom, and from that neutral atom, we extracted 4 electrons.
Charge ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ.
Calculate the total charge onto that atom.
+4.
Huh?
+4.
+4 what?
Charge.
Partially right.
Coulombs.
I'll give you a hint. See here.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
So we had a neutral atom and we extracted 4 electrons out of it. Calculate the total charge onto that atom now, after the extraction.
So it's +4. +4. Charge is +4.
I said partially right. Bhargavi, Soham, do something.
Sir, +4 coulombs.
Partially right.
Sir, can you go back to the previous slide?
You must have noted it down, huh?
No, sir.
Why?
I disconnected. I got it had disconnected that time. Sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay, sir. Neutral system.
So let's discuss now. Neutral atoms mean same number of electrons, same number of proton. Net charge will be 0. Either here net charge will be 0 in case of neutral. But when we extract 4 electron, what will happen? There will be a deficiency of electron,
Yes, sir.
or we can say there is an excess of proton.
Yes.
There will be a deficiency of electron, but there will be excess of. So the 4 electron I will remove. So these 4 protons which were being neutralized earlier now will be free sort of, and we'll see the charge corresponding to these 4 protons. So when we extract 4 electron, the net charge becomes positive. And how much net charge? 4 times of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb.
Oh.
1 proton carries this much charge. 4 proton will carry 4 into this much charge.
Yeah, okay.
So if I would have extracted 4 proton, then net charge
4 into minus 1.6 into 10
Yes,
power
yes.
minus.
So total here there will be negative. No? Please check it. There will be negative at this point if you would have extracted. You see, sometimes they will give you how much charge is there in terms of electron proton. Sometimes they will do like this. Get my point? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
there was
Yes,
a neutral.
sir.
Now next question. There was a neutral atom. We added 4 proton and 8 electron. Calculate net charge.
Sir, 4 into minus 1.6 into 10 to the power 19 coulombs.
So we focus on to the language. Yeah.
Okay.
Any problem till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'll do one thing. I'll summarize now. Okay. Process everybody knows. And summary. So we are talking about this is a chapter we are going to do, and right now we are doing the basics of this chapter. We are learning the basic, which will be the building block for this chapter. The first basis is charge. Charge is a fundamental property. It's a fundamental property. And corresponding to this charge, we see the effect of it in terms of forces. In terms of forces, we see the effect. We define 2 types of charges. One we define as positive charge, one we define as negative charge based upon their distinct behavior. Or we can say we define 2 types of properties now. We segregated the property, being funny and being sad. Basically, they are coming from the same thing. Then we went for the fundamental forces. There are 4 types of fundamental forces. In the beginning, they were going by 5. Then they added electro and magnetic, and they made it 1. Gravitational, electric, electromagnetic, nuclear, and the weak force. These 4 types of fundamental forces. And each fundamental force has a fundamental particle, or you can say elementary particle from where it is originated. Charge we define as positive and the negative. The electromagnetic, the fundamental property behind electromagnetic is the charge. Wherever you see the charge, this field will be there. This force will be there. And wherever this force is there, the charge has to be there. Big Bang, we discussed about the Big Bang, we are passing the time a little bit. Then we differentiate among the positive and the negative charges. So we defined one more property or one more thing called electric field, which originate or end inside the charge. The charge gives this field. Through this field, they influence other things. It is like an aura of charge. The positive charge emits the electric field. So from positive charge, electric field goes outside. And the negative charge, electric field comes inside. So if any time we have given a charge without telling us whether it is positive or negative, and field is given like this, what we will say?
Negative.
This is a matter.
Negative charge.
Net negative charge. This is the difference between net negative charge and the negative charge. There might be positive charge particle as well. So if this particle is carrying, let's say, 2 electrons and 4 protons. What is the net? 2 proton?
Yes.
Net is 2 proton, na? Then we'll see the field outward. It's like that. But if this is carrying only one particle, and field is like that, then that particle has to be negative. If there is one more particle which is carrying only one particle and the field is like that, this will be positive. So negative inside, positive outside. Okay? Then we attach the particle corresponding to these plus and negative. Negative charge is carried by the electron and the positive charge is carried by the proton. So in future, whenever somebody will say that some body carries the negative charge, so if Soham is carrying the negative charge, I'll say he is carrying the electrons. Get my point?
Yes, sir.
And if Soham is carrying the positive charge, I'll say he is carrying the proton. The negative and positive charge now is being attached with the particle, electron and proton. By calculating their number, we can calculate how much net charge will be there. So corresponding to electron, we define this much is the charge, and corresponding to proton, we define this much is the charge. Where coulomb is the unit of charge. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Then the question, actually we made a formula for net charge. So whenever we want to calculate net charge, we need to count how many number of electrons it is having and how many number of proton it is having, directly or indirectly. Sometimes examiner will directly give you and sometimes he will give you indirectly, like in the next question I gave you, indirectly. So when the N1 and N2 is given, you just have to do that. Number multiplied with the charge, total number of electron multiplied with charge carried by one electron plus total number of proton multiplied with charge carried by the proton. That addition of these two will give you the net charge carried by the system. So if a system carries, let's say, 2 coulomb charge plus 2 coulomb charge, does it mean that it does not have electron?
No.
Does it mean that it does not have the electron? I'm asking a question.
No, sir.
It might have
Electrons
the,
may be
might
more.
have. Yes. That's the thing. That's the thing we want to focus. If something is carrying a net charge positive, it does not mean that it does not have the negative charge. If something is carrying net charge positive, it means net, meaning proton is more than the neutron or the electron. It means protons are more than the electron. That's it. And if something is carrying a negative charge, negative 2 coulomb charge, the electrons are more than the proton in that. Okay? So then there is a neutral system. We define the neutral system. Neutral system will be having the equal number of electron and equal number of proton. So based upon that, we define if we extract some proton out of something, if we extract some electron, then that system will have the excess proton, an equal amount of proton. If something was neutral, everything was equal. If we extracted 4 electron, it means there will be excess of 4 proton. Corresponding to 4 proton, we will be having this much charge onto that. This is how we get it. Clear here? Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm giving you some reading. First thing you have to read about Big Bang. Okay. It's an interesting
Sir, you
reading
will
actually.
send this through the Google Classroom, or we should read this on our own?
No. Go for Google Baba. You know the Google Baba?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Go for Google Baba, ask the Google Baba. It's an interesting reading actually. You will like it. I'm saying that. It has nothing to do with your syllabus, nothing to do with the syllabus. It's an interesting reading. Okay. So this thing you can write, you can go through, then go by the fundamental forces. In case of fundamental forces, you might not be able to understand each and everything. But whatever you will understand, it is good. So go through these two readings. And apart from that, Google Classroom, it will be class specific. Right now, we'll not be giving you many questions. The DPP, most probably next week, the DPP aega. We have to finish something first now. Once some portion is finished, then we'll be able to give you exercise on that. Okay. So today we'll be like stopping the class at this point, and we have one formula. We have gone through one formula, and these are two readings you guys have to do. Apart from that, there is one very good novel, actually, if you want to go for it. Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy. The movie is also there with the same name. Movie is also there. It's a very nice novel. So if you go by the novel, you can read that novel for like 1 month. It will take that much time. And if you go by the movie, hardly 2 hours will be required. It is like a Star Wars, but much better than the Star Wars in terms of concepts. Okay. So if you want, go through that as well. If you are wasting your time on PUBG, not go there. Go there. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So will we stop in the class now? Yes. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
will this session be posted on YouTube?
Yeah. We'll do.
Okay, sir.
I'll post this session on the YouTube. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So till tomorrow it will take actually. We record okay milega, then I'll do some editing. That we have to elevate starting from then.
Sir,
Yes.
cut the parts where we are speaking.
What?
Cut the parts where
Oh.
we are speaking.
No problem. It is for us only. Doesn't matter. Everything is a learning experience. Remember that. Everything is a learning experience. Everything is. Because we have 5 senses. And these 5 senses continuously keep interacting with our surrounding. We keep learning. Okay. So today class will finish it now at this point, and you guys can start going for these readings. We have to make our habit because after a long time, like 2 months ho chuka, I think, we are not studying at all. Okay? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll end this meeting, I'll end this class. Okay? Chalo. Bye bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.